Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the New York Market Color session. So I will be analyzing GBP USD, Euro USD, and DXY. So thank you all for joining, right? I hope that we have a swell time together. Right. So I'd like to kindly crave your indulgence to share the link to this Market Color session with everyone on our social media platforms so that a lot of people can get to participate in what we are doing here. So starting off with the XY, this is just a recap of what we had analyzed earlier. The monthly time frame, the overall direction is bullish. Then we've seen a sweep of this liquidity downside. Coming down to the weekly time frame, we've even seen more push to the downside, implying a sell, right? Implying a sell. We've seen this low at 100.365 being taken out, and we've seen price retracing to this very fair value gap right here. What we are seeing right now is more push to the downside. On daily time frame also, where do I think price wants to target for this sell? Price is coming to take out this very low right here at 97.964 on daily time frame, and down to the 4-hour time frame. On 4-hour time frame, flipping this swing from point A to point B right here, we can actually see that price retraced into 61.8% level, held off that point to the downside, and we saw price trading into this very fair value gap to fill it up. So what we are now is even more push to the downside for DXY to keep selling down to the 15 minutes time frame. Let's see if we can spot an entry for a sell. There's a shoulder right here at 99.197, a sweep to the upside, a break to the downside. All we want to see price do is retrace into this very left shoulder at 99.196 on the 15 minutes time frame. Kindly take note of these various price points that we're calling out. And on GBP USD, for GBP USD on the monthly time frame as seen right here, the overall direction is actually to the downside. Nothing has changed. All we've seen is price taking out this very high right here on the weekly time frame, and down to the daily time frame. On daily time frame, we're even seeing that market structure is way bullish. We're seeing higher highs and higher lows, indicating that this structure right here is a bullish structure. And on the 4-hour time frame also, we've seen more buys than we've seen sales. If I'm going to swing this, flip this swing rather, right, I can actually say that price retracing to 78.6% fib level, held at that point, and we're seeing more push to the upside. Where do I think price is coming to? I think price wants to take out this very high at 1.35969 on the 4-hour time frame, and down to the 1-hour time frame. Pretty much price wants to target this very high right here. If we're looking out for entry signatures, this is quite choppy right here. Shoulder at 1.35172, sweep to the downside. We eventually saw a break to the upside. All I want to see price do is retracing to 1.35172 on 1-hour time frame. On the 15 minutes time frame, I want to check out if I can see, a box pattern for a buy. Well, since I can't really see any clear box pattern, I am just going to work with the one I have spotted in 1-hour time frame. Again, I want to buy GBP USD once price retraces into 1.35172 on 1-hour time frame. Down to Euro USD, being last on the list. Monthly time frame, we're seeing more sales, right? We're seeing sales to the downside. We've seen a grab of this liquidity right here. right? And on the weekly time frame, also, we have seen price pushing even to the upside. And on the daily time frame, fibbing this swing from point A to point B, price held at 78.6% fib level, and we're seeing some push to the upside. Pretty much the same thing for the 4-hour time frame. If I'm going to fib this most recent swing on the 4-hour time frame from point A to point B, this is the most recent swing right here from point A to point B. Price actually already held at 61.8% fib level. If you remember yesterday when we ran the analysis on EURUSD and USD, we had a buyer bias. So price retraced into 61.8% fib level. It's holding up that point, and we're seeing some push to the upside. Price is definitely coming for this high at 1.145. For it on the 15 minutes time frame. Let's see if we can find an entry signature. We have a shoulder right here at one spot, 13865, a sweep to the downside, right? A break to the upside. All I want to see price do is, retrace into this very left shoulder. I want to see price retrace into this very left shoulder. Once price gets there, I'm willing to long Euro USD. So that's the end of my analysis for today. Please, if you have questions or a different thing you're seeing in the market, kindly type in the chat box. I'd like to use this an opportunity to announce that registration for the ATM cash flow training, our premium course for trading synthetics, is currently ongoing. You can chat us up on 081 60 99 50 30, and we will be helping you with the registration process. Please, if you have questions, type in chat box. If you have questions, type in chat box. The model will be coming up after this very brief break for his analysis. Please do not go anywhere. We're going on a very, very brief break. And right after that, we'll be having the second segment of today's analysis. Cheers and God bless.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, and welcome to the second part of the market color, where we look at the US market, that's the US 30, US 100, and also NAS, S&P 500, beg your pardon, NAS 100. All right, quickly, we saw some things happen this morning, and currently, just look at what we marked out this morning, guys. Okay, can you see my screen now? Please confirm, can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen now? Okay, okay. Look at where we marked out on US 30, guys. See, this thing is not fluke, right? But then, it's quite interesting. If you're in this trade, you set your take profit and your SL. Else, most likely, it won't close probably immediately, right? So earlier this morning, we did analysis and we said we're waiting for price to come to this zone. We marked out this zone and said we're going to buy from this zone, right? Let me put my, okay, yeah, and then Move here. 1:3. 1:3. Our usual take profit ish in one candle. Interesting. All right. But the truth is, by the time we refine even more, we're going to get a better entry. But this is the classic pattern of what we're waiting for earlier this morning. Right. So the market has really moved, but not even moved the way I want it to, actually. Right. So for me, I'll still wait. It can still retest this zone to start buying to the upside properly now. That can be a possibility where the market retests this zone again or a zone. Let me look at for 5 minutes, right? And then we start seeing that push to the upside, because this week is not what I'm waiting for. I want to see a full-blown candle to the upside. We still have a lot of move, right? Look at where we want price to move to, right? So this one is just what they call initial gara in Nigerian language, right? I still expected to see that move, that push to the upside, which will eventually clear liquidity, and then ultimately we'll now start seeing moves, price creating new highs in the market, right? Clearing previous high to form new highs. But however, even today's intraday trade was quite good. I mean, this is already a good start, which might eventually give us that next push. So I'll be waiting to see how this New York market is going to close, and that's by say 5-6 ish. Let me see how price action forms, more price action forms, and then probably we're going to see a build up from this zone, price candlestick pushing to the upside. That will also strengthen my conviction for a buy again. Right, that being said, let's move to our US 100. On US 100, like we mentioned, on US 100, we're waiting for price to return to this zone, which it did. It returned to this zone, but then we didn't have that push to the upside. Instead, price sold off, right? Sold off below this, and then eventually we saw that push to the upside. So I'll be waiting significantly. This fair value gap is looking as if it's going to be very, very valid, and then we can take probably trades from it. I'll be looking at my chart very soon to take trades from this fair value gap, and I'll be expecting my first take probably should be somewhere around here, and then ultimately other take profit level, right, on the daily time frame, which I believe should be more valid. This other take profit level, right, around this zone. So this is what I'm looking out for today, right? On US 30, we had a pullback 1:3 on that trade setup. On this one, we lost this trade setup here, because if you eventually placed your limits order here, like I used to advise, and you'll have been stopped out eventually, right? So on today's trade, we make 3R on US 30, and then -1R on US 100, which is the NASDAQ, right? And overall, it's a good day in terms of intraday kind of analysis. I believe those that were here in the morning can testify to the setup we had, and then even make much sense out of it. All right, guys, I want to wrap this session up very quickly, because I mean, the trade I'm looking for on US 30 already happened. However, a re-entry on US 100 won't be bad. Like I mentioned, you can see currently price is reacting up from this fair value gap, and I believe it's going to continue its movement, right? So for me, I don't want to miss out on the trade opportunity, right? I don't want to miss out on this trade opportunity. So therefore, I'll just go back now and then look for more or better entry, so that I can use that to compensate whatever it is and that's happened in the morning. All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining this session. Please, we can ask our question. If we have any question, please let's ask our question in the chat box. if we have any question at all, right? I'll be waiting for a question in the chat box, right? So do you have any question? Please let me know in the chat box, in the comment section, so that I can reply to our questions. I'm waiting for responses. Do you have any question? We're about 9. Benjamin, Ezekiel, Joseph, K, Mangots, Peter, St. Paul, Wane Ebi. Do you have any question? Do you have any questions so far? Because that is going to give us that is going to allow us wrap up this session. Do we have any question? I'm waiting for responses. Okay, all clear. Thanks. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. It's pretty much clear and understandable. All right, you're welcome. We'll see tomorrow. Okay. There'll be no market color session tomorrow. Let me drop it here. There'll be no market session, market color session tomorrow because of the holiday, right? So we'll be resuming by Tuesday because even Monday is part of the holiday. So from tomorrow up until Tuesday, we will now resume. My name is asking, what is the difference between US 30 and Wall Street 30? It's still the same, especially if you're using your brokerage platform. It's still the same, right? It's all the same. All right. And also for US 100, you see things like NASDAQ, NAS 100, you see US Tech. They are all the same, right? So that's it. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll meet again by Tuesday. Cheers and God bless.